Tonight, we venture into one of the most mysterious territories of human experience, the realm where our sleeping minds become aware of their own dreaming state. Lucid dreaming represents a fascinating intersection where neuroscience meets consciousness, where the boundaries between waking and sleeping blur into something altogether more complex and beautiful. It's a phenomenon that has captivated humans for millennia. Yet only recently have we begun to understand the intricate neural mechanisms that make it possible for us to become conscious participants in our own dreams. Hi, I'm Luna, and if you love falling asleep to curious science, quiet wonder, and starlit night stories, you're in the right place. So grab your coziest blanket, get comfy, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe because tonight, we're exploring the extraordinary landscape of lucid dreaming, that rare and wonderful state where your sleeping mind awakens to its own creative power, where you can soar through imagined skies, converse with impossible beings, and explore worlds that exist nowhere, but in the theater of your dreaming consciousness. Imagine, if you will, the moment when you first realize you're dreaming. Perhaps you're walking through a familiar childhood neighborhood when suddenly you notice that the physics don't quite work the way they should. Maybe you're floating just slightly above the ground, or the colors are more vivid than any waking palette could produce. In that instant of recognition, something extraordinary happens in your brain. Neural networks that normally operate independently during REM sleep begin to communicate in ways that shouldn't be possible, creating a hybrid state of consciousness that science is only beginning to understand. This phenomenon, lucid dreaming, occurs when the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for self-awareness and critical thinking, becomes partially activated during REM sleep while still allowing the dream narrative to continue. It's as if your brain is performing a delicate balancing act, maintaining just enough conscious awareness to recognize the dream state, while preserving the rich, symbolic language of dreams themselves. The experience typically begins with what researchers call a dream sign, some element of the dream that strikes the dreamer as unusual or impossible. For some, it might be the presence of a person who has passed away, speaking as naturally as if they were still alive. For others, it could be the ability to read text that changes when they look away and back again, or the realization that they're in a place that couldn't possibly exist in waking life. These moments of recognition serve as doorways, brief openings, where the conscious mind can step into the dream world without dispelling its magic entirely. What makes lucid dreaming so scientifically fascinating is that it challenges our fundamental understanding of consciousness itself. During normal REM sleep, the brain generates vivid, often bizarre experiences while the prefrontal cortex, our center of rational thought and self-reflection, remains largely dormant. We experience dreams as if they were reality, accepting even the most impossible scenarios without question. But in lucid dreams, something different happens. The prefrontal cortex awakens just enough to provide metacognitive awareness, the ability to think about thinking, while the rest of the brain continues its dreaming processes. This creates a unique neurological state that researchers sometimes describe as a hybrid consciousness. Brain imaging studies using techniques like fMRI and EEG have shown that lucid dreamers exhibit increased activity in regions associated with self-awareness, including the precuneus and the posterior parietal cortex, while simultaneously maintaining the characteristic brainwave patterns of REM sleep. It's as if the brain is running two different operating systems simultaneously: the logical, self-aware system of waking consciousness and the associative, symbolic system of dreams. The implications of this discovery extend far beyond simple curiosity about sleep. Lucid dreaming offers researchers a unique window into the nature of consciousness itself, providing insights into how awareness emerges from neural activity and how different states of consciousness might be possible. It suggests that our normal waking consciousness may be just one possible configuration of brain activity, and that other forms of awareness, equally valid and potentially equally useful, might exist. To truly understand lucid dreaming, we must first explore the complex architecture of sleep itself, that nightly journey through different states of consciousness that every human being undertakes. Sleep is not simply the absence of wakefulness, but rather a sophisticated biological process involving multiple brain regions working in carefully orchestrated patterns. Each night, as we drift from wakefulness into sleep, our brains cycle through distinct stages, each with its own characteristic brainwave patterns, neurochemical environment, and function. The journey begins with non-REM sleep, which itself consists of three progressively deeper stages. Stage 1 is that twilight realm between waking and sleeping, where our brainwaves slow from the rapid beta waves of alert wakefulness to the gentler alpha waves of relaxation. Our muscles begin to relax, our heart rate slows, and our breathing becomes more regular. This is often where hypnagogic hallucinations occur, those strange, often vivid images or sounds that can appear at the border between consciousness and sleep. Some researchers suggest that these transitional experiences might share certain neural mechanisms with lucid dreaming, as both involve unusual states of awareness during altered consciousness. As we descend into stage 2 sleep, our brainwaves continue to slow, punctuated by brief bursts of faster activity called sleep spindles and larger waves known as K-complexes. These neurological markers indicate that our brain is actively working to maintain sleep, filtering out external stimuli that might otherwise wake us. The thalamus, our brain's relay station, begins to gate sensory information more strictly, allowing us to sleep through sounds and sensations that would immediately rouse us during wakefulness. Stage 3, also known as slow-wave sleep or deep sleep, represents the most restorative phase of our nightly rest. Here, our brain waves slow to deep, rolling delta waves, and our bodies engage in crucial repair and maintenance activities. Growth hormone is released, memories are consolidated, and the brain's glymphatic system activates to clear metabolic waste that has accumulated during waking hours. This is the sleep of profound unconsciousness, where dreams, if they occur at all, tend to be simple, thought-like experiences rather than the vivid narratives of REM sleep. But it is in REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, where the magic of dreaming truly unfolds, and where lucid dreams most commonly occur. REM sleep typically begins about 90 minutes after sleep onset and recurs in cycles throughout the night, with REM periods becoming longer and more frequent toward morning. During REM sleep, our brains become almost as active as they are during wakefulness, consuming nearly the same amount of energy while generating the complex, often surreal experiences we call dreams. The neurochemical environment of REM sleep is unique and crucial to understanding lucid dreaming. Levels of norepinephrine, dopamine, and histamine, neurotransmitters associated with attention, motivation, and arousal, drop to their lowest levels of the 24-hour cycle. Meanwhile, acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter crucial for learning and memory, reaches high concentrations in certain brain regions. This specific neurochemical cocktail helps explain many characteristics of normal dreams: the lack of critical thinking, low norepinephrine, the emotional intensity and motivation to engage with dream content, altered dopamine, and the bizarre associations and memory incorporations, high acetylcholine. For lucid dreaming to occur, something must shift in this delicate neurochemical balance. Research suggests that lucid dreams often happen when there's a slight increase in gamma brainwave activity, fast, synchronous neural oscillations that are associated with conscious awareness and binding of different sensory experiences into unified perceptions. This gamma activity seems to reactivate portions of the prefrontal cortex without fully awakening the dreamer, creating that unique hybrid state where awareness coexists with the ongoing dream narrative. The timing of lucid dreams also provides important clues about their underlying mechanisms. Most lucid dreams occur during the later REM periods of the night, when REM sleep is naturally lighter and more fragmented. This suggests that lucid dreaming might require a certain level of cortical arousal, not enough to wake up completely, but sufficient to activate the neural networks responsible for self-awareness and critical thinking. Some researchers have proposed that lucid dreaming represents a natural phenomenon where the normal boundaries between different states of consciousness become temporarily permeable. Rather than being a rare anomaly, lucid dreaming might be understood as one end of a spectrum of hybrid consciousness states that include hypnagogic hallucinations, false awakenings, and even some forms of meditation where practitioners maintain awareness while allowing their minds to enter deeply relaxed states. This understanding has opened up exciting possibilities for inducing lucid dreams through various techniques that subtly alter the neurochemical or electrical environment of the sleeping brain. Researchers have experimented with transcranial stimulation, specific light patterns, and carefully timed audio cues, all designed to encourage the brain to achieve that delicate balance between dreaming and awareness. The neuroscience of dream control. When we examine the brain of someone experiencing a lucid dream, we see a fascinating neural landscape that challenges many of our assumptions about consciousness and control. Advanced neuroimaging techniques have revealed that lucid dreaming involves a complex interplay between multiple brain networks, each contributing different aspects to the overall experience of conscious dreaming. The default mode network, which includes regions like the medial prefrontal cortex, posterior cingulate cortex, and angular gyrus, shows particularly interesting patterns during lucid dreams. This network, active during rest and self-referential thinking, appears to maintain some of its waking state connectivity patterns, even during REM sleep in lucid dreamers. This may explain why lucid dreamers retain a sense of self and personal identity within their dreams, rather than experiencing the ego dissolution that sometimes occurs in normal dreams. Meanwhile, the salience network, which includes the anterior insula and anterior cingulate cortex, shows increased activation during lucid dreams. This network is responsible for detecting important stimuli and switching between different modes of attention. Its activation during lucid dreaming might explain how dreamers become aware of dream signs and shift their attention from passive dream experience to active lucid awareness. Perhaps most intriguingly, the frontoparietal control network, which includes the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex and posterior parietal cortex, shows a unique pattern of partial activation during lucid dreams. This network is crucial for executive functions like working memory, cognitive control, and goal-directed behavior. Its partial activation allows lucid dreamers to exercise some degree of control over their dream experiences, while avoiding the complete awakening that full activation would produce. The degree of control that lucid dreamers can exercise varies considerably both between individuals and between different lucid dreams. Some dreamers report having complete control over their dream environment, able to fly at will, transform objects with a thought, or summon specific people or places. Others experience a more limited form of lucidity, where they're aware they're dreaming, but find the dream environment resistant to their conscious intentions. This variability in dream control appears to correlate with the extent of prefrontal cortex activation during the lucid dream. When prefrontal activation is higher, dreamers typically report greater control over their dream experiences. When activation is more limited, dreamers might be aware they're dreaming, but find themselves more or less carried along by the dream narrative, like conscious passengers on a journey they can observe but not direct. Interestingly, the motor cortex and related movement planning regions show complex patterns during lucid dreams. While the body remains paralyzed during REM sleep, a crucial safety mechanism that prevents us from acting out our dreams, the brain areas responsible for planning and imagining movement remain active. This allows lucid dreamers to experience vivid sensations of movement, flight, or physical action within their dreams, while their physical bodies remain safely still. Research has shown that when lucid dreamers imagine moving in their dreams, their motor cortex activates in patterns remarkably similar to those seen during actual movement planning in waking life. This suggests that the subjective experience of movement in lucid dreams may be neurologically similar to real movement, even though no actual physical movement occurs. Some researchers have proposed that this could make lucid dreaming a valuable tool for motor skill practice and rehabilitation. The visual cortex also shows fascinating patterns during lucid dreams. While the eyes are closed and no external visual input is being received, the visual cortex remains highly active, generating the rich visual experiences of dreams. In lucid dreams, this activity sometimes shows patterns similar to those seen during visual imagination in waking life, particularly when dreamers are actively trying to visualize or create specific visual elements within their dreams. Perhaps most remarkably, brain connectivity studies have shown that lucid dreamers can sometimes establish communication between their dreaming minds and the external world. In laboratory studies, lucid dreamers have been trained to signal their lucid state through specific eye movements or facial muscle contractions, communications that can be detected by researchers through electrodes placed on the face and around the eyes. This creates an unprecedented opportunity for real-time communication with a dreaming mind, opening up possibilities for studying consciousness and dreams in ways that were previously impossible. The implications of these neurological findings extend far beyond academic curiosity. They suggest that consciousness itself might be more flexible and controllable than we previously understood. If people can learn to maintain awareness during dreams and even exercise some control over their dream experiences, what might this tell us about our ability to modulate other states of consciousness? Could similar principles be applied to meditation, creative states, or even therapeutic interventions for various mental health conditions? The subjective experience of lucid dreaming is remarkably diverse, varying not only between different individuals, but often between different lucid dreams experienced by the same person. Some lucid dreamers describe their experiences as hyperreal, more vivid and emotionally intense than waking life. Colors appear more saturated, sensations feel more acute, and emotions can reach levels of intensity that seem impossible in ordinary consciousness. Dr. Stephen LaBerge, one of the pioneering researchers in lucid dreaming, has described how lucid dreamers often report a sense of expanded awareness within their dreams. Rather than simply knowing they're dreaming, many experienced lucid dreamers describe feeling as though their consciousness has been enhanced or amplified. They report being able to think more clearly, make connections between ideas more readily, and access memories or insights that might be difficult to retrieve during normal waking consciousness. This enhanced awareness often extends to sensory experiences within the dream. Lucid dreamers frequently report that they can consciously focus their attention on different aspects of their dream environment, examining textures, listening to sounds, or even tasting flavors with remarkable clarity. Some describe being able to zoom in on details in their visual field, much like adjusting the focus on a camera, or shifting their attention between different sensory modalities at will. The sense of agency, the feeling of being in control of one's actions and their consequences, is another crucial aspect of the lucid dreaming experience. While the degree of control varies, many lucid dreamers report feeling a profound sense of freedom within their dreams. They describe being able to make conscious choices about where to go, what to do, and how to interact with the dream environment and its inhabitants. This sense of agency can be deeply empowering, particularly for individuals who may feel constrained or limited in their waking lives. However, the experience of control in lucid dreams is often more nuanced than simple conscious command over the dream environment. Many experienced lucid dreamers describe learning to work collaboratively with their unconscious mind, rather than trying to dominate or completely control the dream experience. They might set an intention or make a request, then allow the dream to respond in its own way, often producing results that are more creative or insightful than what they might have consciously planned. Time perception in lucid dreams presents another fascinating aspect of the experience. While dreams typically occur within the timeframe of REM sleep periods, the subjective experience of time within lucid dreams can be dramatically different from waking time perception. Some lucid dreamers report experiencing what feels like hours or even days within a single dream, living through complex narratives and adventures that would be impossible to compress into the actual duration of a REM period. This altered time perception appears to be related to the way memory and consciousness interact within dreams. Without the normal anchoring points of external stimuli and the regular progression of events that characterize waking life, the dreaming mind seems to construct its own temporal framework. In lucid dreams, where conscious awareness is present, this can create the subjective experience of extended time periods, even within relatively brief REM episodes. The emotional landscape of lucid dreams is often described as particularly rich and complex. Many lucid dreamers report experiencing emotions with unusual intensity or clarity, sometimes encountering feelings that are difficult to categorize using normal emotional vocabulary. Some describe experiencing multiple emotions simultaneously, or emotions that seem to have colors, textures, or spatial qualities that would be impossible in waking life. This emotional richness may be partly due to the unique neurochemical environment of REM sleep, combined with the conscious awareness that characterizes lucid dreams. The limbic system, which processes emotions, remains highly active during REM sleep, while the prefrontal cortex's partial activation in lucid dreams may allow for more conscious engagement with these emotional experiences than is possible in normal dreams. Social interactions within lucid dreams present particularly intriguing phenomenological questions. Lucid dreamers often report having conversations with dream characters who seem to possess their own personalities, knowledge, and autonomous behaviors. These interactions can feel remarkably real and meaningful, sometimes providing insights or perspectives that the dreamer doesn't feel they consciously generated. The question of whether dream characters represent aspects of the dreamer's unconscious mind, autonomous mental processes, or something else entirely remains one of the most fascinating mysteries of lucid dreaming. Some experienced lucid dreamers report that their dream characters sometimes know things that the dreamer doesn't consciously know, or provide information that proves accurate when later verified in waking life. While such reports are anecdotal and difficult to study scientifically, they point to the complex relationship between conscious and unconscious mental processes that lucid dreaming uniquely reveals. The phenomenon of lucid dreaming has been recognized and valued by various cultures throughout human history, long before modern neuroscience provided explanations for how such experiences might occur. Ancient texts from Tibet, India, Greece, and other civilizations describe practices and experiences that clearly correspond to what we now call lucid dreaming, suggesting that this capacity for consciousness within dreams may be a fundamental aspect of human psychology rather than a modern discovery. Tibetan Buddhism has perhaps the most sophisticated traditional understanding of lucid dreaming, developed over more than 1,000 years of contemplative practice. The practice known as dream yoga, or milam, is considered one of the advanced meditation techniques designed to help practitioners recognize the illusory nature of both dreams and waking experience. Tibetan texts describe detailed methods for becoming lucid in dreams, maintaining lucidity, and using the dream state for spiritual development and insight. According to Tibetan Buddhist teachings, the ability to remain conscious during dreams is seen as preparation for the intermediate state bardo that occurs between death and rebirth. The logic is that if one can maintain awareness during the altered state of consciousness that occurs in dreams, one will be better prepared to navigate the even more dramatic alterations of consciousness that occur during the dying process and afterward. This connects lucid dreaming to some of the deepest questions about the nature of consciousness and its relationship to physical existence. Hindu traditions also contain extensive references to conscious dreaming states. Ancient Sanskrit texts describe various levels of consciousness, including states that correspond closely to lucid dreaming. The Mandukya Upanishad, one of the principal texts of Vedantic philosophy, describes 4 states of consciousness: waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and a 4th state called turiya that transcends the other 3. While turiya is not exactly lucid dreaming, some interpretations suggest that conscious awareness within dreams represents a bridge between ordinary dreaming consciousness and this higher state. In ancient Greek culture, dreams were often seen as communications from the gods, or as ways to access divine knowledge. The practice of incubation, sleeping in temples dedicated to healing gods like Asclepius in hopes of receiving healing dreams, sometimes involved techniques that may have encouraged lucid dreaming. Greek philosophers like Aristotle wrote about the phenomenon of knowing one is dreaming while still in the dream, demonstrating that lucid dreaming was recognized as a distinct experience even in classical antiquity. Indigenous cultures around the world have their own traditions related to conscious dreaming. Many Aboriginal Australian cultures view the dream time as a fundamental aspect of reality, and some traditional practices seem designed to maintain consciousness during dream states. Similarly, various Native American traditions include practices for becoming aware within dreams and using dreams for guidance, healing, and spiritual communication. The Senai people of Malaysia developed perhaps one of the most systematic traditional approaches to dream work, including techniques that clearly relate to lucid dreaming. Their cultural practices involved daily dream sharing and specific instructions for how to behave within dreams, including the recommendation to become lucid when possible and to confront and conquer fear within dreams. While some accounts of Senai dream practices may have been romanticized by Western researchers, the core practices suggest a sophisticated understanding of how consciousness can be maintained and directed within dreams. Islamic tradition also contains references to conscious dreaming states. Some Sufi texts describe practices for maintaining awareness during dreams, and Islamic scholars have written about the different types of dreams and their significance. The concept of raya, true dreams, includes experiences that sound remarkably similar to lucid dreams, where the dreamer maintains spiritual awareness while receiving insight or guidance through the dream state. These historical and cultural perspectives on lucid dreaming share several common themes. First, lucid dreaming is often viewed not merely as a curiosity, but as a valuable skill that can be developed through practice. Second, many traditions connect lucid dreaming to spiritual development, suggesting that the ability to maintain consciousness during altered states might have implications for understanding the nature of consciousness itself. Third, these traditions often emphasize the practical applications of lucid dreaming for problem solving, healing, and personal growth. The widespread occurrence of lucid dreaming across diverse cultures and historical periods suggests that this capacity is likely an inherent feature of human consciousness rather than a recent cultural development. The fact that many traditional cultures developed sophisticated practices around lucid dreaming, often independently of each other, points to the fundamental importance of this phenomenon for understanding human psychology and consciousness. Modern scientific research has both validated and extended these traditional understandings. While we may not accept supernatural explanations for lucid dreaming experiences, the scientific evidence confirms that lucid dreaming is indeed a distinct and valuable state of consciousness that can be cultivated through practice. Moreover, research has shown that many of the practical applications suggested by traditional cultures, such as using lucid dreams for problem solving, skill practice, and emotional healing, have genuine psychological benefits. As we explore the landscape of dream consciousness more deeply, it becomes clear that lucid dreaming exists not as a binary state, either lucid or not, but rather as part of a continuous spectrum of awareness within dreams. This spectrum ranges from complete unconsciousness during deep sleep, through various levels of dream awareness, to fully lucid states where dreamers exercise significant control over their dream experiences. At the lowest end of this spectrum are dreamless states during deep sleep, where consciousness appears to be minimal or absent entirely. While some researchers argue that some form of experience continues even during these deepest sleep stages, any such experiences seem to leave no trace in memory and don't resemble the narrative, visual experiences we typically associate with dreaming. Moving along the spectrum, we encounter the vast majority of ordinary dreams, where we experience vivid, often bizarre narratives without recognizing their impossibility. In these states, our critical thinking faculties are largely offline, and we accept even the most unlikely scenarios as completely normal. We might find ourselves flying through our childhood home, having conversations with long-dead relatives, or discovering that we've forgotten to attend classes for an entire semester without questioning any of these impossibilities. A step higher on the awareness spectrum are dreams with increased metacognition, moments where we briefly question the reality of what we're experiencing without fully realizing we're dreaming. These might manifest as fleeting thoughts like "this seems strange" or "I don't remember coming here," but without the full recognition that would lead to lucidity. These pre-lucid states are particularly interesting because they suggest that the capacity for critical thinking can begin to emerge during dreams without immediately producing full, lucid awareness. False awakenings represent another interesting point on this spectrum. In these experiences, dreamers believe they have awakened from sleep and may even get up, brush their teeth, or begin their daily routine, only to actually wake up later and realize the entire experience was a dream. Some false awakenings include elements of lucidity, where the dreamer suspects something is wrong but can't quite identify what it is. These experiences highlight how complex and nuanced the relationship between dreaming and waking consciousness can be. True lucid dreams occupy various points on the higher end of the awareness spectrum. The most minimal form of lucidity involves simply recognizing that one is dreaming without necessarily gaining any control over the dream experience. The dreamer might think, "Oh, this is a dream," and then continue to experience the dream more or less passively, like a conscious observer watching a movie. This basic lucidity can still be valuable, as it often reduces the emotional impact of frightening dream content and can make the overall dream experience more enjoyable. Higher levels of lucidity involve increasing degrees of control over the dream experience. Some lucid dreamers learn to manipulate their dream environment, changing locations at will, transforming objects, or summoning specific people or scenarios. Others develop the ability to maintain lucidity for extended periods, experiencing long, complex dream adventures while remaining aware of their dreaming state throughout. At the highest levels of lucid dreaming, some experienced practitioners report achieving states that seem to transcend ordinary dream consciousness entirely. These might involve experiences of expanded awareness, profound insights, or encounters with what seem like autonomous aspects of consciousness. While such reports are subjective and difficult to study scientifically, they suggest that the upper reaches of lucid dreaming might touch on fundamental questions about the nature of consciousness itself. The spectrum model helps explain why lucid dreaming can be such an elusive skill to develop. Rather than being an all-or-nothing ability, lucidity emerges gradually as dreamers become more skilled at recognizing dream states and maintaining awareness within them. Beginners might experience only brief moments of lucidity before the awareness fades or the dream ends. With practice, these moments can be extended and the level of control can be increased. This understanding has important implications for research and practical applications. Rather than simply asking whether someone had a lucid dream or not, researchers are increasingly interested in measuring the degree and quality of lucidity. This more nuanced approach has revealed that lucid dreaming abilities can be developed systematically, and that different aspects of lucidity, recognition, control, memory, etc., can be improved independently. The spectrum model also suggests that many people may be having partially lucid experiences without recognizing them as such. Those brief moments of questioning dream reality, or dreams where we exercise unusual agency or control, might represent forms of lucidity that deserve recognition and could potentially be developed into fuller lucid dreaming abilities. The systematic development of lucid dreaming abilities has become a fascinating area of both scientific research and practical application. Unlike the spontaneous lucid dreams that many people occasionally experience, trained lucid dreaming involves learning specific techniques and practices that can reliably increase the frequency and quality of lucid dream experiences. One of the most widely studied and effective approaches is reality testing, a technique that involves regularly questioning whether one is dreaming or awake throughout the day. The theory behind reality testing is that by developing a habit of critically examining one's state of consciousness during waking hours, this critical awareness will eventually carry over into dreams, triggering lucidity when the dreamer notices dreamlike inconsistencies. Effective reality tests typically involve checking aspects of experience that behave differently in dreams than in waking life. Reading text, for example, often appears unstable in dreams. Words may change when you look away and back again, or may appear as meaningless symbols rather than readable text. Digital clocks similarly tend to display impossible times or change erratically in dreams. Hands and fingers often appear distorted in dreams, with extra fingers, missing digits, or strange proportions. The key to successful reality testing is not just performing the checks, but doing so with genuine critical awareness. Simply glancing at one's hands or a clock without really questioning one's state of consciousness is unlikely to be effective. Instead, practitioners are taught to ask themselves seriously, "Am I dreaming right now?" and to examine their environment and experiences with genuine skepticism. Dream journaling represents another fundamental technique for developing lucid dreaming abilities. By recording dreams immediately upon waking, practitioners develop better dream recall and become more familiar with their personal dream patterns and recurring themes. This increased familiarity with one's dream life often leads to better recognition of dream states, as dreamers become more likely to notice when they're experiencing familiar dream scenarios. The process of dream journaling also appears to strengthen the neural pathways involved in dream memory, making it more likely that lucid dreams, when they occur, will be remembered clearly. Many lucid dreamers report that their dream recall improved dramatically after beginning a regular journaling practice, and that this improved recall was essential for developing consistent lucidity. Wake back to bed, WBTB, techniques take advantage of the natural architecture of sleep to increase the likelihood of lucid dreams. These methods involve waking up during the early morning hours, typically after about 6 hours of sleep, staying awake for a brief period while focusing on lucid dreaming intentions, and then returning to sleep. This timing coincides with the longest and most vivid REM periods of the night, when lucid dreams are most likely to occur naturally. During the wake period, practitioners might read about lucid dreaming, review their dream journal, practice visualization techniques, or simply repeat affirmations about becoming lucid. The key is to get the mind focused on lucid dreaming while in a relaxed, drowsy state that will facilitate a quick return to REM sleep. Many successful lucid dreamers report that WBTB techniques significantly increased their lucid dream frequency compared to other methods alone. Mnemonic induction techniques involve using memory and intention-setting practices to increase lucid dream likelihood. The most well-known of these is the mnemonic induction of lucid dreams, MILD technique, developed by Stephen LaBerge. MILD involves setting a strong intention to recognize when one is dreaming, often by repeating a phrase like, "Next time I'm dreaming, I will remember I'm dreaming," while falling asleep or during WBTB periods. The effectiveness of MILD appears to depend on the strength and specificity of the intention. Rather than simply hoping to have a lucid dream, practitioners are encouraged to visualize specific scenarios where they might become lucid. Imagine themselves performing reality checks in those scenarios, and rehearse the moment of recognition mentally. This mental rehearsal seems to prime the mind to recognize similar situations during actual dreams. Some practitioners combine multiple techniques into comprehensive training programs. These might involve maintaining a dream journal, performing regular reality checks throughout the day, using WBTB techniques several times per week, and practicing meditation or mindfulness exercises to develop greater self-awareness. Research suggests that combined approaches are often more effective than single techniques alone, though they also require more time and commitment. Technology-assisted induction represents a growing area of research and development. Various devices have been created to provide external cues during REM sleep that might trigger lucidity without causing full awakening. These include masks with LED lights that flash during detected REM periods, audio devices that play specific sounds or verbal cues, and even systems that detect REM sleep through eye movement monitoring and provide tactile stimulation. While results with technological aids have been mixed, some studies have shown promising results. The key challenge is providing stimulation that's strong enough to penetrate dream consciousness and trigger lucidity, but not so strong as to cause awakening. Some devices allow users to adjust the intensity and timing of cues to find the optimal balance for their individual sleep patterns. Neurofeedback training represents another technological approach to lucid dream induction. Some researchers have experimented with training people to recognize and produce the specific brainwave patterns associated with lucid dreaming, with the idea that conscious control over these neural states might increase lucid dream frequency. While this approach remains largely experimental, initial results suggest it might be a promising avenue for future development. The effectiveness of different induction techniques varies significantly between individuals, and most successful lucid dreamers experiment with various methods to find the combination that works best for them. Factors like natural sleep patterns, dream recall ability, meditation experience, and overall stress levels all seem to influence which techniques are most effective for particular individuals. Applications and benefits. The practical applications of lucid dreaming extend far beyond the simple enjoyment of conscious dream experiences, though that alone can be profoundly valuable for many people. Research has revealed that lucid dreaming can serve as a unique tool for personal development, skill enhancement, therapeutic intervention, and even scientific research into the nature of consciousness itself. One of the most compelling applications of lucid dreaming is in the realm of nightmare treatment and trauma therapy. For individuals who suffer from recurring nightmares, particularly those related to post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, learning to become lucid during frightening dreams can provide a powerful tool for reclaiming agency and control. When dreamers realize they're in a dream during a nightmare, they can often transform the threatening scenario, confront threatening figures, or simply wake themselves up. The therapeutic approach known as imagery rehearsal therapy, IRT, has been enhanced by incorporating lucid dreaming techniques. In traditional IRT, clients work with therapists to reimagine their nightmares with more positive outcomes while awake, then practice visualizing these new scenarios before sleep. When combined with lucid dreaming training, clients can potentially implement these positive changes directly within their nightmares, providing a more immediate and emotionally powerful form of therapeutic intervention. Case studies have documented remarkable transformations in individuals who successfully applied lucid dreaming to nightmare treatment. One veteran with PTSD-related nightmares learned to recognize when he was dreaming and began confronting the threatening figures in his dreams rather than fleeing from them. Over time, his nightmares became less frequent and less distressing, and he reported improved sleep quality and reduced PTSD symptoms overall. Motor skill practice represents another fascinating application of lucid dreaming that has attracted considerable research attention. Since the motor cortex remains active during REM sleep, and lucid dreams can involve vivid sensations of movement, some researchers have investigated whether practicing physical skills within lucid dreams might translate to improved performance in waking life. Several studies have found promising results. In one experiment, participants who practiced tossing coins into a cup within their lucid dreams showed improved accuracy when performing the same task while awake, compared to control groups who either practiced in waking imagination or received no practice at all. The improvement was not as great as that achieved through actual physical practice, but it was statistically significant and suggests that lucid dream practice can indeed enhance motor learning. This has potential implications for athletes, musicians, and others who depend on complex motor skills. Professional athletes often use mental rehearsal as part of their training, and lucid dreaming might provide an even more realistic and engaging form of mental practice. The immersive, multisensory nature of lucid dreams could make practice sessions more effective than simple visualization exercises. Creative problem solving is another area where lucid dreaming has shown practical value. The unusual state of consciousness that characterizes lucid dreams, with heightened awareness combined with the associative, symbol-rich environment of dreams, can sometimes facilitate insights and creative solutions that might not emerge during ordinary waking thought. Many artists, writers, and inventors throughout history have reported receiving inspiration from their dreams. The chemist Kekulé claimed that he discovered the ring structure of benzene through a dream of a snake seizing its own tail. The author Robert Louis Stevenson reported that the plot for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde came to him in a dream. While these examples involve ordinary dreams rather than lucid ones, the ability to maintain consciousness during dreams while preserving their creative potential could make such insights more accessible and reliable. Some lucid dreamers have learned to use their lucid dreams specifically for creative exploration. They might pose questions to dream characters, explore imaginary landscapes for artistic inspiration, or experiment with impossible scenarios that could spark new ideas. The key advantage of lucid dreaming for creativity is that it provides access to the rich, symbolic world of dreams, while maintaining enough conscious awareness to remember and potentially direct the experience towards specific creative goals. Educational applications of lucid dreaming have also shown promise. Some researchers have investigated whether people can learn new information or practice skills within lucid dreams. While the results are mixed, dreams don't appear to be effective for learning entirely new factual information. They may be useful for reinforcing or practicing material that has already been learned while awake. Language learners have reported using lucid dreams to practice conversations in foreign languages. Taking advantage of the dream states reduced inhibition and self-consciousness. While dream conversations don't teach new vocabulary or grammar rules, they may help learners become more comfortable and fluent with language skills they're already developing. The therapeutic applications of lucid dreaming extend beyond nightmare treatment to include work with phobias, anxiety disorders, and personal growth challenges. The safe, consequence-free environment of lucid dreams can provide an ideal space for confronting fears, practicing social interactions, or exploring different aspects of personality and behavior. Some therapists have begun incorporating lucid dreaming techniques into their practice, teaching clients to use lucid dreams as a form of exposure therapy for phobias or social anxiety. A person with a fear of public speaking might practice giving presentations to dream audiences, gradually building confidence that can transfer to waking situations. While this approach is still experimental, early results suggest it can be a valuable complement to traditional therapeutic interventions. Spiritual and philosophical exploration represents another significant application of lucid dreaming. Many practitioners report that lucid dreams provide opportunities for profound experiences of transcendence, unity, or insight that feel deeply meaningful and transformative. While the interpretation of such experiences is necessarily subjective, they can contribute to personal growth, spiritual development, and philosophical understanding. Some experienced lucid dreamers report encounters with dream figures who seem to possess wisdom or knowledge beyond what the dreamer consciously possesses. While skeptics might explain such experiences as projections of the dreamer's own unconscious knowledge, the subjective experience can be profoundly meaningful and can lead to genuine insights about life, relationships, and personal challenges. The social aspects of dreaming have also attracted research attention. Some lucid dreamers report having shared or mutual dreams with other people, though such claims remain scientifically unverified. More practically, lucid dreams can provide opportunities to practice social interactions, work through relationship conflicts, or explore different ways of connecting with others in a safe, private environment. Research into the benefits of lucid dreaming has also revealed some potential cognitive advantages. Some studies suggest that people who regularly experience lucid dreams may show enhanced metacognitive abilities, better awareness of their own thinking processes, even during waking life. This increased self-awareness can contribute to better decision-making, emotional regulation, and overall psychological well-being. The practice of maintaining awareness during altered states of consciousness, as occurs in lucid dreaming, may also strengthen general mindfulness and meditation abilities. Many experienced lucid dreamers report that their dream practice has enhanced their ability to maintain present moment awareness and observe their thoughts and emotions with greater detachment during waking life. Despite its many fascinating aspects and potential benefits, lucid dreaming is not without its challenges and controversies. As research in this field has expanded, scientists and practitioners have identified various limitations, risks, and areas of ongoing debate that deserve careful consideration. One of the primary challenges facing lucid dreaming research is the fundamental difficulty of studying subjective experiences that occur during sleep. Unlike many other areas of neuroscience, where researchers can directly observe behavior or measure physiological responses, lucid dreaming research relies heavily on first-person reports that cannot be independently verified. While researchers have developed ingenious methods for confirming lucidity through prearranged eye movement signals, the detailed content and quality of lucid dream experiences remain largely inaccessible to objective study. This limitation has led to ongoing debates about the reliability of lucid dreaming research and the validity of some claims made about lucid dream experiences. While brain imaging studies have clearly demonstrated that lucid dreaming involves a distinct neurological state, questions remain about how closely the subjective experience reported by dreamers corresponds to what's actually happening in their brains. The phenomenon of false lucidity presents another methodological challenge. Some dreamers report having lucid dreams where they believed they were aware of dreaming, only to realize upon waking that their dream awareness was itself part of the dream. These experiences highlight the complex relationship between different levels of consciousness and awareness, and they complicate efforts to study lucid dreaming scientifically. Sleep disruption represents one of the most significant practical concerns associated with lucid dreaming practice. Many of the most effective lucid dreaming techniques, particularly wake back-to-bed methods, involve deliberately interrupting normal sleep patterns. For some practitioners, frequent wake-ups and the mental stimulation involved in lucid dreaming practice can lead to reduced sleep quality, daytime fatigue, and other sleep-related problems. This is particularly concerning, given what we know about the importance of uninterrupted sleep for physical and mental health. Deep, non-REM sleep plays crucial roles in memory consolidation, cellular repair, and immune function. If lucid dreaming practice consistently interferes with these restorative sleep processes, the costs might outweigh the benefits for some individuals. Some researchers have also raised concerns about the potential for lucid dreaming to become compulsive or addictive. The vivid, controllable nature of lucid dreams can be intensely appealing, and some practitioners report spending increasing amounts of time and energy focused on their dream lives, at the expense of waking activities and relationships. While such cases appear to be rare, they highlight the importance of maintaining balance and perspective in lucid dreaming practice. The relationship between lucid dreaming and mental health presents another area of ongoing investigation and debate. While lucid dreaming can be therapeutic for some conditions like nightmares and PTSD, some mental health professionals have expressed concerns about its use in individuals with certain psychiatric conditions. People with psychotic disorders, severe depression, or dissociative disorders might be at risk of increased confusion about reality or worsening of their symptoms if they begin experimenting with altered states of consciousness. However, these concerns are largely theoretical at this point, as there has been limited research on lucid dreaming in clinical populations. Some studies have actually suggested that lucid dreaming might be associated with better psychological health and greater creativity, though the direction of causation remains unclear. It's possible that psychologically healthy individuals are more likely to experience lucid dreams, rather than lucid dreaming causing improved mental health. The commercialization of lucid dreaming has also raised concerns among researchers and practitioners. Various companies now market devices, supplements, and training programs promising to induce lucid dreams, often with claims that exceed what current scientific evidence supports. While some technological aids have shown promise in research settings, many commercial products lack rigorous testing and may not deliver on their promises. The supplement industry has particularly embraced lucid dreaming, marketing various herbs, amino acids, and other substances as lucid dreaming pills. While some compounds, particularly acetylcholine precursors and certain herbs traditionally used for dream enhancement, may have some effect on dream experiences, the safety and efficacy of most commercial dream supplements remain largely unstudied. Cultural and religious controversies have also emerged around lucid dreaming practice. Some religious traditions view deliberate attempts to control dreams as spiritually inappropriate or potentially dangerous. Others worry that lucid dreaming might interfere with the natural processes of sleep and dreaming that serve important psychological and spiritual functions. These concerns reflect deeper questions about the role of dreams in human psychology and whether conscious intervention in dream processes is always beneficial. While most sleep researchers don't share these concerns, they highlight the importance of approaching lucid dreaming with respect for the complex, still mysterious processes of sleep and dreaming. The question of individual differences in lucid dreaming ability has also generated ongoing debate. While most people can learn to have lucid dreams with practice, there appear to be significant individual differences in natural lucid dreaming ability and in responsiveness to training techniques. Some people seem to become lucid dreamers relatively easily, while others struggle to achieve even basic lucidity despite extensive practice. These differences might be related to variations in brain structure and function, sleep patterns, dream recall abilities, or other factors that are not yet well understood. This raises questions about whether lucid dreaming techniques that work for some people can be generalized to everyone, and whether some individuals might be better advised to focus their efforts on other approaches to personal development or therapeutic intervention. The future of lucid dreaming research As we look toward the future of lucid dreaming research, we find ourselves at the threshold of discoveries that could fundamentally transform our understanding of consciousness, sleep, and human potential. The convergence of advancing neurotechnology, sophisticated brain imaging techniques, and growing interest in consciousness studies is opening up possibilities that would have seemed like science fiction just a few decades ago. One of the most promising frontiers involves the development of more sophisticated brain-computer interfaces specifically designed for dream research. Current lucid dreaming studies rely primarily on simple signals like eye movements to confirm lucidity, but future technology might allow for much more detailed communication between dreaming minds and external observers. Researchers are already experimenting with systems that can detect the onset of REM sleep with greater precision and provide more targeted stimulation to encourage lucidity. Advanced EEG systems with higher resolution and better signal processing capabilities are beginning to reveal more subtle patterns in brain activity during lucid dreams. These improvements might eventually allow researchers to predict when lucidity is likely to occur, monitor the degree of lucidity in real time, and even provide feedback to dreamers to help them maintain or enhance their lucid state. The field of targeted memory reactivation during sleep represents another exciting area of development. Researchers have discovered that playing specific sounds or scents during sleep can reactivate memories that were associated with those cues during waking learning. This technique might be adapted to enhance lucid dreaming by providing cues that remind dreamers to perform reality checks or recognize dream signs. Virtual and augmented reality technologies are also beginning to influence lucid dreaming research and practice. Some researchers are exploring whether training in virtual reality environments might improve people's ability to recognize when they're in an altered state of consciousness, potentially transferring to better lucid dreaming abilities. VR systems might also be used to create training scenarios that mimic common dream environments, helping people prepare for lucidity. The emerging field of closed-loop neurofeedback systems offers particularly intriguing possibilities. These systems monitor brain activity in real time and provide immediate feedback or stimulation based on detected patterns. Applied to lucid dreaming, such systems might be able to detect the early signs of lucidity and provide gentle encouragement to help dreamers maintain awareness without waking up. Pharmacological research into lucid dreaming remains in its early stages, but shows considerable promise. While most current approaches involve over-the-counter supplements with limited effectiveness, researchers are beginning to investigate more targeted pharmaceutical interventions. Compounds that affect specific neurotransmitter systems involved in REM sleep and consciousness might eventually allow for more reliable lucid dream induction. However, pharmaceutical approaches to lucid dreaming raise important ethical and safety questions. Any drug that affects sleep and consciousness would need extensive testing to ensure it doesn't interfere with the restorative functions of normal sleep. The risk-benefit analysis for lucid dreaming medications would need to carefully consider both the potential benefits and the possible unintended consequences. The integration of artificial intelligence and machine learning into dream research is opening up new possibilities for understanding the patterns and mechanisms of lucid dreaming. AI systems might be able to identify subtle patterns in brain activity, sleep architecture, or dream content that predict lucidity or reveal new insights about the underlying processes. Some researchers are even exploring whether AI systems might eventually be able to interact directly with dreaming minds, potentially serving as guides or companions within lucid dreams. While such possibilities remain highly speculative, they illustrate the radical directions that lucid dreaming research might take as technology continues to advance. The growing interest in consciousness studies more broadly is also likely to drive new research into lucid dreaming. As scientists become more interested in understanding the neural basis of consciousness, lucid dreams provide a unique window into how awareness can exist in different forms and states. This research might eventually lead to new therapeutic approaches for disorders of consciousness or new ways of enhancing human cognitive abilities. International collaboration in dream research is expanding, with researchers from different cultures and traditions bringing diverse perspectives to the study of lucid dreaming. This cross-cultural approach might reveal new techniques or insights that have been developed in different traditional contexts, enriching our scientific understanding of this phenomenon. The potential applications of lucid dreaming research extend far beyond the phenomenon itself. Insights gained from studying lucid dreams might inform research into meditation, anesthesia, virtual reality, and other altered states of consciousness. The techniques developed for enhancing lucidity might be adapted for other purposes, such as improving mindfulness, creativity, or psychological well-being. Educational applications of lucid dreaming might also expand as we better understand how learning and memory function during different sleep states. While dreams don't appear to be effective for learning entirely new information, they might be useful for consolidating, practicing, or creatively recombining information that's already been learned. The therapeutic applications of lucid dreaming are likely to become more sophisticated and evidence-based as research progresses. Rather than simply teaching people to become lucid, future therapeutic approaches might involve specific protocols tailored to different conditions or individual needs. Therapists might eventually be able to guide clients through lucid dream experiences in real time, providing support and intervention as needed. As we delve deeper into the phenomenon of lucid dreaming, we inevitably encounter profound philosophical questions that challenge our fundamental assumptions about the nature of reality, consciousness, and human experience. These questions go far beyond the technical details of neuroscience or the practical applications of dream control, touching on some of the deepest mysteries of existence itself. The most immediate philosophical challenge posed by lucid dreaming concerns the nature of consciousness and its relationship to physical reality. In ordinary waking life, we tend to assume that consciousness is unified and singular. We have one stream of awareness that corresponds to our interaction with external reality. But lucid dreaming reveals that consciousness can exist in multiple forms simultaneously, with some aspects of awareness recognizing the dream state, while other aspects remain engaged with the dream narrative. This multiplicity of consciousness within a single individual raises fundamental questions about the unity of the self. If we can be partially aware during dreams, while other aspects of our mind continue to generate dream experiences, what does this tell us about the nature of personal identity? Are we truly unified beings? Or are we more like a collection of different cognitive processes that usually work together, but can sometimes operate independently? The experience of lucid dreaming also challenges our understanding of the relationship between subjective experience and objective reality. Within a lucid dream, the dreamer can have vivid, meaningful experiences that feel completely real despite having no correspondence to external physical events. These experiences can be emotionally powerful, intellectually stimulating, and personally transformative, yet they occur entirely within the dreamer's mind. This raises profound questions about the nature of reality itself. If experiences that feel completely real can occur without any external referent, How can we be certain about the reality of any experience? Some philosophers have argued that lucid dreaming provides support for idealist positions that question the fundamental distinction between mind and world, or even for skeptical positions that doubt our ability to know anything with certainty about external reality. The phenomenon of dream characters in lucid dreams presents another fascinating philosophical puzzle. Many lucid dreamers report having complex interactions with dream figures who seem to possess their own personalities, knowledge, and autonomous behaviors. These characters can surprise the dreamer, provide information the dreamer doesn't consciously possess, and engage in conversations that feel genuine and meaningful. From a materialist perspective, these dream characters must be productions of the dreamer's own mind, complex patterns of neural activity that create the illusion of separate personalities. But the subjective experience of interacting with apparently autonomous beings raises questions about the nature of other minds and consciousness more generally. If our own minds can generate what seem like independent conscious entities, what does this tell us about consciousness in general? Some philosophers and consciousness researchers have suggested that dream characters might represent autonomous aspects of the dreamer's unconscious mind, semi-independent mental processes that have their own goals, knowledge, and perspectives. This possibility challenges traditional notions of unified consciousness and suggests that what we call mind might be more like a society of different mental agents than a single, unified entity. The relationship between lucid dreaming and free will presents another area of philosophical complexity. In lucid dreams, people often report having a strong sense of agency and control. They can choose where to go, what to do, and how to interact with their dream environment. Yet these choices are being made by a brain that is in an altered state, influenced by neurochemical changes and operating according to different rules than normal waking consciousness. This raises questions about whether the choices made in lucid dreams represent genuine exercises of free will, or are simply the result of deterministic brain processes that create the illusion of agency. If our sense of control in lucid dreams is illusory, what does this suggest about our sense of agency in waking life? Some philosophers have argued that the study of consciousness in different states, like lucid dreaming, might provide new insights into the long-standing debate about determinism and free will. The temporal aspects of lucid dreaming also raise interesting philosophical questions. Many lucid dreamers report experiencing what feels like extended periods of time within their dreams, hours, days, or even longer, despite the fact that their dreams occur within relatively brief REM periods. This subjective expansion of time challenges our understanding of the relationship between conscious experience and physical time. If consciousness can experience extended durations without corresponding physical time passing, what does this tell us about the nature of time itself? Some philosophers have argued that the subjective experience of time in dreams supports theories that distinguish between psychological time and physical time, suggesting that consciousness might have its own temporal dimensions that don't necessarily correspond to external physical processes. The creative and problem-solving aspects of lucid dreaming raise questions about the nature of knowledge and insight. Many lucid dreamers report gaining genuine insights or creative inspiration from their dream experiences, sometimes solving problems or generating ideas that prove valuable in waking life. If these insights emerge from dream states where normal logical thinking is altered, what does this suggest about the nature of knowledge and understanding? Some philosophers have proposed that lucid dreaming might provide access to forms of knowledge or understanding that are not available through ordinary rational thought. This possibility echoes ancient philosophical traditions that distinguished between different ways of knowing, suggesting that logical analysis might not be the only valid path to understanding reality. The relationship between lucid dreaming and spiritual or transcendent experiences represents another area of philosophical interest. Many practitioners report having profound spiritual experiences within lucid dreams, encounters with divine beings, experiences of unity with the universe, or insights into the nature of existence that feel deeply meaningful and transformative. While skeptics might dismiss such experiences as mere subjective phenomena with no objective validity, others argue that they might represent genuine encounters with aspects of reality that are not accessible through ordinary consciousness. This possibility raises fundamental questions about the nature of spiritual experience and its relationship to physical reality. The study of lucid dreaming also contributes to philosophical debates about the mind-body problem, the question of how mental experiences relate to physical brain processes. The fact that specific neural patterns correlate with lucid dreaming states provides evidence for the dependence of consciousness on brain activity, supporting materialist positions about the mind-brain relationship. However, the richness and complexity of lucid dream experiences, combined with their subjective reality for the dreamer, also highlight the explanatory gap between objective neural processes and subjective conscious experience. Even if we can identify the brain states associated with lucid dreaming, the question of why these brain states should give rise to conscious experience at all remains mysterious. As we continue to study lucid dreaming and develop more sophisticated techniques for understanding and controlling dream states, these philosophical questions are likely to become more pressing rather than less so. Each new discovery about the mechanisms of lucid dreaming reveals new complexities in the relationship between mind and brain, subjective experience and objective reality, consciousness and the physical world. Rather than providing simple answers to these ancient philosophical questions, lucid dreaming research seems to be revealing new dimensions of complexity that challenge our existing frameworks for understanding consciousness and reality. This may ultimately require new philosophical approaches that can accommodate the multiple levels of consciousness and reality that lucid dreaming appears to reveal. Closing reflections. The dreaming mind's journey as we reach the end of our exploration into the fascinating world of lucid dreaming. We find ourselves not with simple conclusions, but with a deeper appreciation for the profound mysteries that continue to surround human consciousness and the nightly journey we all take into the realm of dreams. The science of lucid dreaming has revealed that our sleeping minds are far more complex and capable than we once imagined. Yet each discovery seems to open new questions rather than providing final answers. The phenomenon of lucid dreaming reminds us that consciousness itself is not a simple, unitary experience, but rather a complex symphony of neural processes that can be configured in different ways to create different types of awareness. The fact that we can sometimes become conscious within our dreams, maintaining awareness while still experiencing the rich, symbolic world of sleep, suggests that the boundaries between different states of consciousness are more fluid and permeable than we typically assume. This fluidity has practical implications that extend far beyond the realm of sleep research. As we better understand how consciousness can be modulated and directed, we may discover new approaches to education, therapy, creativity, and personal development. The techniques developed for lucid dreaming might eventually inform broader efforts to enhance human cognitive abilities and well-being. Yet perhaps the most profound impact of lucid dreaming research lies not in its practical applications, but in how it changes our understanding of what it means to be human. The realization that our minds can create rich, meaningful experiences that feel completely real despite having no external referent challenges our assumptions about the nature of reality and our place within it. It suggests that consciousness is not simply a passive reflection of external reality, but an active, creative force that participates in constructing our experienced world. The historical and cultural perspectives on lucid dreaming that we've explored remind us that this phenomenon has been recognized and valued by human cultures throughout history. The fact that people separated by thousands of years and thousands of miles have independently discovered and developed practices around conscious dreaming suggests that this capacity might be a fundamental aspect of human nature rather than a modern curiosity. This continuity across cultures and centuries also highlights the importance of integrating different ways of knowing in our approach to understanding consciousness. While modern neuroscience provides unprecedented insights into the mechanisms of lucid dreaming, traditional wisdom traditions offer valuable perspectives on its significance and applications that purely scientific approaches might miss. The individual differences in lucid dreaming ability that research has revealed remind us that human consciousness is not uniform, but varies significantly between people. Some individuals seem naturally predisposed to lucid dreaming, while others find it more challenging to achieve. This diversity suggests that consciousness itself might be more variable between individuals than we typically recognize, with different people having different capacities for awareness, control, and integration of various mental states. The challenges and controversies surrounding lucid dreaming research underscore the importance of approaching this phenomenon with both scientific rigor and appropriate caution. While lucid dreaming offers many potential benefits, it's not without risks, and the claims made about its capabilities should be evaluated carefully against available evidence. The tendency to sensationalize or commercialize lucid dreaming can distract from the genuine scientific insights that research in this area is providing. As we look toward the future of lucid dreaming research, we can anticipate continued discoveries that will deepen our understanding of consciousness, sleep, and human potential. The convergence of advancing neurotechnology with sophisticated research methods promises to reveal new insights into how consciousness works and how it might be enhanced or directed. Yet even as we develop more precise scientific understanding of lucid dreaming, we should not lose sight of the wonder and mystery that this phenomenon represents. The fact that each night, as we close our eyes and drift into sleep, our minds embark on journeys through impossible worlds where the normal rules of physics and logic don't apply, is itself a remarkable testament to the creativity and complexity of human consciousness. The ability to sometimes become aware within these dream worlds, to recognize the impossibility while still engaging with the experience, represents a form of consciousness that bridges the gap between the rational, analytical mind of waking life and the intuitive, symbolic intelligence of dreams. This bridging capacity might be more important than we realize, offering ways of integrating different aspects of human intelligence and awareness. For those who choose to explore lucid dreaming, whether through scientific study or personal practice, the phenomenon offers unique opportunities for self-discovery and growth. The safe, consequence-free environment of lucid dreams can provide space for experimentation, confrontation of fears, creative exploration, and the development of greater self-awareness. Even the process of learning to recognize dream states can enhance metacognitive abilities and mindfulness in waking life. But perhaps most importantly, lucid dreaming reminds us that consciousness is not a fixed or limited capacity. The fact that we can learn to maintain awareness during dreams suggests that other enhancements of consciousness might also be possible. As we continue to study and understand the mechanisms of awareness, we may discover new ways to optimize human cognitive and emotional functioning. The philosophical implications of lucid dreaming will likely continue to evolve as research progresses. Each new discovery about the neural basis of dream consciousness raises new questions about the nature of reality, identity, and experience. Rather than diminishing the mystery of consciousness, scientific study of lucid dreaming seems to be revealing new depths of complexity that challenge our existing conceptual frameworks. As you prepare for sleep tonight, perhaps you'll carry with you some awareness of the extraordinary journey your mind is about to undertake. Whether or not you become lucid in your dreams, you'll be participating in one of the most remarkable aspects of human experience, the nightly transformation of consciousness that allows us to explore worlds that exist nowhere but in the theater of our sleeping minds. The landscapes you'll traverse in your dreams, the characters you'll encounter, and the experiences you'll have are all products of the same neural processes that generate your waking thoughts and perceptions. Yet they unfold in ways that seem to follow their own logic, revealing aspects of your mind that remain hidden during ordinary consciousness. In the gentle rhythm of your breathing as you drift towards sleep, in the gradual relaxation of your muscles and the softening of your awareness, you're participating in a process that connects you to every other dreaming being on this planet. Across the dark side of our turning world, millions of minds are embarking on their own dream journeys, each creating private universes of experience that are as real and meaningful to the dreamer as any waking experience. The science of lucid dreaming has shown us that these nightly journeys are not simply random neural noise or meaningless mental static, but complex, organized experiences that reflect the remarkable capabilities of human consciousness. Whether we remember our dreams or not, whether we become lucid or remain unconscious participants in the dream narrative, we are all explorers of inner space, navigators of the vast territories of mind that open up each night when we close our eyes. So rest now in the knowledge that your sleeping mind is about to embark on adventures that no waking explorer could ever undertake, visiting places that exist only in the infinite creativity of consciousness itself. And perhaps, if you're fortunate, you'll find yourself aware within that dream world, recognizing the impossibility while still embracing the wonder, becoming a conscious participant in the extraordinary phenomenon we call lucid dreaming. Sweet dreams, fellow travelers, and may your journeys through the night bring you insights, healing, and the quiet joy of discovering new depths within the endlessly fascinating landscape of human consciousness.